Happy Halloween and welcome to TLA's special speaking edition of Student News Network. My name is Max Miller and today is Monday, October 31st, 2022. Now over to Yumi with a look at the weather over the next few days.
Thanks, Max. We aren't expecting much in the way of rain over the next few days, with just a slight chance of showers. Today the high is 74 and the low is 55. Tomorrow the temperature will stay in the 70s with a high of 76 degrees and the low of 57. Wednesday the high is 77 degrees and the low is 58. Now back to Max with our lunch choices.
Thank you, Yumi. Lunch choices today are spooky spaghetti with Texas toast, yogurt plate, and cheeseburger. The sides are glazed carrots, steamed broccoli, and fruit cups. Genesis is standing by with a great joke of the day.
Hi guys. Why did the ghost dance at the Halloween party? Because he had no body to dance with. Back to you, Max and Yumi.
Oh, I get it. No body.
Oh gosh. Moving right along, there are no birthdays for today, so let's turn our attention to today's feature story.
Yumi sat down with Miss Smith, a 5th grade ELA teacher at TLA, to find out more about her scary experience after school hours.
Today, for the first time this year, we have Miss Smith with us. Good morning, Miss Smith.
Good morning, Yumi.
We are really wanting to know what happened to you at TLA.
Okay, well, it's funny that you should ask. So some years back, I was at the school working late on a Friday night, and I was with my daughter. So after I finished working, I decided that I needed to go ahead and make some copies for the following week. When I looked into the hallway, I noticed that it was dark, so I asked my daughter to walk down the hallway with me. Of course, she made fun of her mom being so scary. But as we walked down the hallway, we began to hear a man's voice very clearly. So we both looked at each other because we knew that we were by ourselves. As we got closer and closer, the man's voice became louder and we understood what he was saying. So the man was saying in a very monotone voice that a noun is a person, place, or thing. So my daughter stopped and asked me, "Mom, what was that?" And of course, I was afraid as well. So I told her, come on, I don't want to talk about it. Let's go to the copy room. As we got into the copy room, I still could not explain what that voice was or where it was coming from. So, of course, when I continued, since I was there, I continued to make my copies, which took forever. The copy machine jammed. It seemed like it took a long time. So once we finished, we had to come up with a plan as to how we were going to get back to the classroom because I needed to get back there to get my purse and my keys to leave the building. So our plan was to run. And so we decided that we were just going to run as fast as we could down the hallway back to the classroom. So I stuck my head out to just make sure the coast was clear. And this time I heard the voice, but the voice wasn't as loud as it was before. The voice was still saying the same thing, that a noun is a person, place, or thing, but this time the voice was very low. The room that the voice was coming from was room 1, which is now Mrs. Dabrowski's room, just so you know. And as we walked past her this time, I looked in the room and the room was completely dark. So needless to say, my daughter and I ran as fast as we could to my classroom, gathered my things. I placed my copies on the table, didn't try to organize them or anything, and we were out the door and out of the school. So the following weekend, I tried to figure out my best what could that noise be. And the only thing that I could come up with was that it was probably maybe a computer or a radio that was left on.
Were you sure y'all were alone and it's not another teacher?
I was definitely sure that we were in the building by ourselves and there weren't any other teachers there. But I did, however, that Monday morning ask the teacher who had the room at the time, could she have possibly left on maybe a computer or radio or something that would explain the noise that I was hearing from her room, even though it was pitch black. Well, she assured me that she did not leave anything on because during that time we had what we call energy audits, and the people would come around and check your rooms to make sure that you turned off all of your electronics, the AC was off. And so that prior day, she received one saying that she had left some things on. So that Friday before she left, she made sure that she turned everything off in her classroom, so there would be no reason for me to have heard any of the sounds that I was hearing. Also, the teacher at the time was a social studies teacher, so she said that she didn't even have anything in her classroom that talked about nouns. So, yeah.
Well, you heard that, TLA. This school is definitely haunted. Thank you, Miss Smith, for taking the time to answer our questions.
Oh, you're welcome.
Back to the studio.
That was terrifying, Yumi.
Well, TLA, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us for Student News Network.
Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.